Long time no see, everyone, and welcome to the channel for my predictions for the last WWE PLE of the year, the 2024 edition of Survivor Series WarGames. So we'll start things off with our first of two WarGames matches, this being the women's WarGames match, where we'll see Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley team up to take on the team of Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. For these WarGames matches, I could truly see it going either way. If you want to kind of put a cap in some of the feuds that have been intertwined in all these teams, you could have that end here with one team winning, or if you want to add and make new challengers or add challengers to a mix of a title scene, you have one team win. For me, I could see some dissension going between either team to where we're going to have the Bayley and Bianca Belair not trusting thing going on, and then we're going to have maybe some title things going on Nia Jax and Liv Morgan's team with Tiffany Stratton just sitting there with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Maybe we can see a teased cash in like we saw last year with Damian Priest. But I believe in the end, the team of Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley will be getting the win in this Women's WarGames match. The reason I believe this team's going to win is because I believe that there are going to be multiple Women's Championship title contenders coming out of this match, and to do that, you need the team with Rhea Ripley on it to win. I also like the idea of the confliction coming in on the champions team, we'll call it, with Nia Jax and Liv Morgan, to where we'll see that kind of dissension to where theirs is, is Tiffany Stratton actually going to cash in? And I think we could be really close to seeing a cash-in attempt here with this, potentially in this match, and then that could be the reason why they lose. I can also see for the team that I picked to win with Bayley and Bianca Belair, that blows up, they come to blows, and that's the reason they lose, and then it comes out that one of these two are the one who took out Jade Cargill before this WarGames matchup. And I also think if Rhea Ripley is the one to get the pin and get the job done, we could potentially see the last installment of the Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley match for the world title potentially on that Netflix debut, because I could see that video package like kind of looking like a show we'd find on Netflix, and then that would draw other people who are already on the service into this show in January. And in the meantime, maybe at a Saturday night's main event, you can have Liv Morgan have Raquel Rodriguez going after Rhea Ripley, unless Raquel is the one to be the first women's Intercontinental champion, which is a kind of sleeper pick I could see happening as a holdover until we get to January 6th to when the move happens with Monday Night Raw. So now on to match number 2. And match number 2 will be for the WWE United States Championship, where champion LA Knight will be putting his title on the line against Shinsuke Nakamura. For me, with this match and feud coming together, it seems very quick. I believe that LA Knight will be retaining the United States Championship, defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. I just think if you're going to take the title off of LA Knight, you would do it with more of a build, and I think the Carmelo Hayes Andrade tandem, one of them is the one I would think could be defeating LA Knight and take the US title off of him. And it just has me wondering what would be next for Nakamura with a loss here. I'd assume they'd run this feud back another month and do another match with these two, but I don't see new challengers popping in and out with LA Knight until Hayes or Andrade becomes the number 1 contender and goes after LA Knight and probably takes that United States Championship. So now on to our next match, and that'll be a triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship, where Braun Breaker putting his title on the line against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. I expect this match to just be an all-out brawl mess where stuff's happening nonstop and probably being relatively short. And I think when things are all said and done, I believe Braun Breaker will be retaining the Intercontinental Championship here. I just think if Braun Breaker were to lose the Intercontinental Championship here, I don't know where he'd go next. I feel like we kind of see what the path is going on with the World Heavyweight Championship, so I don't think he'd be mixed in there. And I think him just being another challenger, having a quick run to the Intercontinental Championship again, would just be a bad look for Breaker. I also think you can have the Sheamus trying to get the Intercontinental title thing go on forever until he inevitably does it, and I think this match could be used as a coming out moment here for Ludwig, to where he's kind of out of the lackey role for Gunther, and then he could be looked at as a serious challenger for these titles later on. But for this weekend, I think Braun Breaker will be keeping his Intercontinental Championship. So now on to our co-main event of the evening, which is for the World Heavyweight Championship, where Gunther will be putting his title on the line against Damian Priest. For me, this match seems pretty straightforward, and Gunther reminds everyone who he is, and he defeats Damian Priest and retains the World Heavyweight Championship. For me in this Raw World Heavyweight Championship title picture, it seems pretty straightforward to me that Gunther and CM Punk are on a collision course to inevitably have their match for that title. Who knows when that could be? Maybe that could be the Rumble match, so Punk isn't in the Rumble this year. But I can also see the fact where if Gunther keeps the title on, maybe even past the Rumble, if he defeats Punk, that the man coming back for his last run in WWE, John Cena, and him will clash at WrestleMania in April. But for Damian Priest, I really don't have like a firm idea where this would leave him after this match if he were to lose. Maybe he goes back into the Intercontinental title picture. Maybe him and Finn lock horns again, and then he finally closes down the Judgment Day, but I don't know how many people would like to see that happen again. Or maybe it feels like there could be a draft happening anytime now, especially with the new TV partnerships finally coming into place in the new year, so maybe a brand refresh could be on the horizon for Damian Priest. But for Saturday, I think Damian Priest will be losing to Gunther for him to retain his World Heavyweight Championship. So now on to our main event of the evening, the second WarGames match, this being the men's WarGames match. This will also be the hype video short of the PLE that will be up tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, featuring all 10 of these guys. And we'll be seeing the bloodline of Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and their honorary, member Bronson Reed team up to take on the OG Punk line, as I will be calling them, of Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk. Now, before I get into this match, I know the whole thing leading up to Punk coming out, being the fifth man, is you need 5 for this match, you need 5 for this match. Who sanctions how many people we need for this match? Because I know we've had 3 teams of 3 before in the past in NXT. Last year we had a 4-on-4 match, I think, with the women's side of this, with Damage Control. So why did we need 5? I need someone to firm that up. Because now, is Bronson Reed the Sami Zayn? Is he the honorary Uso of this new bloodline? I think that's kind of funny. But this match, to me, does seem so fishy and so weird to me, to where I could see just pretty much anything happening in here. If you tell me Punk hits a GTS that pops the guy up and Roman Reigns hits a spear or Superman punch to end it and they win and everyone's happy at the end, I can see it. If you tell me Punk's actually a double agent and he's going to screw over the bloodline because Paul Heyman told him to, because him and Solo dress the same, and the new bloodline wins the match, I can see it. If you tell me Bronson Reed's jumping off of the cage and splattering someone through the mat to win the match, I can see it. If you're telling me, regardless of who the winner is of this match, whether it be the new or old bloodline, that we're going to hear "If You Smell" and Mr. Moana's going to come walking down the ramp to stand again, I'd believe you. If some way, somehow, Seth Rollins sticks his nose in this match and screws over either Bronson Reed or Roman Reigns and CM Punk, I can see it happening. The options seem endless in this match. But for me in this match, the more and more I hear and see from the internet detectives and hear from people who live and die with this program, I can't trust Parkville Phil to be on the up and up here. And I think he's going to do something to cost his team. And I believe the new bloodline will be winning this match. I think with the new bloodline winning this match, it feels to me that Roman just disappearing and ghosting everyone after losing at WrestleMania is just going to come back to bite him here. It seems like the Usos and Sami Zayn, yeah, they're back with Roman, but they're not really back with Roman. This isn't the group you think it is. And you see Paul Heyman probably annoyed, hey, you watch this guy beat my ass and you just sat at home and did nothing. You didn't have my phone number. Is that not a hey man, maybe I'm not on your side anymore feeling to it? The only thing that gives me some pause of saying that Punk could be the guy to do things is I think him basically turning heel, even though Roman, he's still the heel guy, it's just people cheer him and say his letters now. I think it might just be early for Punk to turn heel if he is on that collision course with Gunther for the world title come February for the Royal Rumble. But I also think with this ending of Paul Heyman sending Punk in to screw over Roman, this also leads to the whole, remember Paul Heyman had 2 phones, that other phone was for The Rock sets this whole thing up, and Dewey comes trotting down looking at Roman, pulls the "look what you made me do, look what you've become" kind of thing, with Roman does it in a heap after he got his ass beat and loses this match. And that continues to plant the seeds for the inevitable clash with Rock and Roman, which might not even happen at this year's WrestleMania, which is kind of funny to me that that's still, there's still the possibility that this could still not happen. And then that leaves the path for Roman Reigns running into WrestleMania pretty wide open, and who knows where it could lead. But I think this Saturday night, I think things will lead to Roman Reigns looking up at the lights and taking the 1, 2, 3 as he loses to Solo Sikoa and the rest of the bloodline. So that'll do it for my predictions for the 2024 edition of Survivor Series War Games. Come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the short hype video on the main event with the two bloodlines going at it. Also, Commanders franchise shorts will continue. Those will keep coming up here pretty much every day for the rest of the year. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, want to see more, hit that subscribe button. There's one more wrestling predictions video and short hype video coming up. That will be the day after Christmas and then the day after that for the short for AEW's World's End, so come back for that. December 7th, the marathon end to the Boise State Broncos Dynasty. So if any of that interests you, hit that subscribe button and come back. And as always, thanks for watching.